All right. You guys can hear us all right? It is our second live episode.
Yes.
So I have to say, so Gretchen sent a text earlier today, and
that no one raids.
No, I read it, but I have to say, so rarely did the response from Matt say, "I knew that."
Rarely is there any response from
That's true. That's also right. But what it said is that, did you know that Toledo Spirits is closed today? And I did not know that.
No, I didn't.
And so I panicked because I was like, wait a second, that means everybody who comes is just here
Right. So
for
we
us.
knew Rhonda and Molly were coming.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much
They were
it.
sleeping in the parking lot.
So we thought the five of us would have a really nice
right.
show, but we were worried otherwise. So thank you all for being here.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right. And thanks to Toledo Spirits for hosting us. It's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Andrew on the show when we
Yes.
filled in for Fred Lefevre a couple weeks ago and talked about Toledo Spirits, and then excited to be here and do this again and share this thing that we do with
Yes.
all of you.
And for some reason, he's staying in the basement. I'm not sure why he won't come up.
That's where the beer
But
is.
he is downstairs, so if you want to go down and say hi to Andrew Newby, you're more than welcome to. Let's introduce Dominic, our amazing sound man. So we have a few little house. Oh, Maya, do you want to say anything?
I don't. I'll let everyone know. Last time I got some notes from my partners here that I talked too much. I was hogging the guests.
So now he's going to punish us.
Well,
That didn't
you're
come-
the ones that will be punished by me not participating to the level that you've come to expect. So enjoy your
didn't
mediocre
come
evening.
from us. That
Yep.
came
oh,
from the
it came right from
guests.
both.
The guests told us to tell you. That's
Came
what
from
that was.
totally independent
Yeah.
sources. Anyway, you may be wondering why the three of us are wearing the same shirt. Or maybe you're not wondering.
We do this on all of our recordings. We dress alike.
We
for
just
all
don't
of
have
them.
video.
Yeah.
But we have partnered with our friends at Jute Mode, and we have these new shirts available. If anyone is interested, you can order them at jutemode.com. And these are them.
Yeah,
Pretty cute,
good
right?
job. Yeah.
Okay. We did also want to mention really quickly, this pod will be out in a couple days, and we have Kevin and Matt and I are co-hosting a celebrity wait night to benefit Imagination Station on June 10th. So if you're interested in joining us at that.
We will be protesting the eclipse.
Yeah.
So please come. It'll be anti-science. The three of us are flat earthers, which is a unique experience at the Imagination Station, right?
That's right. But it will be totality fun.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Do not clap for that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Oh, totality fun.
ImaginationStation.org for tickets. Do you want to thank our sponsor?
I do. Yeah, we are lucky to have somebody crazy enough to want to help us do more of this. And so we really appreciate Tim Wheatro Advisors, independent financial advisors for supporting the podcast and helping us do this. I met Tim through filling in for Fred Lefevre, as Matt and I have done for a little over a year now. And Tim does the market updates. And that is the least exciting thing that we could ever possibly talk about in the morning, in part because I don't know anything about it. But then as the more we got to know Tim, we realized like he's a really nice guy that cares about the community. And the more we talked about what we were doing with this, Tim was like, yeah, I want to be involved in that. What does that look like? And so we told him it's $100,000 for the year. And he talked us down quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we appreciate him being able to do this. When we started, we sort of had a budget in mind of what it was going to cost to do each episode, and we sort of agreed that the three of us are going to
I
split
was not
that.
involved in the budget conversation.
Well, we did it via text, so you wouldn't have seen any of those.
They've taken their side. I can hear it.
The audience is really pro-Gretchen.
Yeah, I get
That's
it.
not
It's
true.
surprising.
Sure.
That's
Somebody has
never
to be.
been true.
And so Tim was great. We had some conversations with Wes on his team and Tim, and they agreed to come on and join us. And so we appreciate them. Certainly, if you've got questions about your own financial interests or investments, you can call Matt.
That's right.
And then when Matt gets it wrong, you can reach out to Tim, and
Yeah.
him and the team will help
When
you
your
out.
family has been moved out of their homes, Tim's
We
there
need
for
to
you.
actually talk to Tim because our sponsorship split was 95-5. So we need to
Yeah.
figure out how
think
to
that was right
make
on
that
math.
better.
That was
Is
good
right?
math. Yeah.
10, whatever. Okay, should we bring on our first guest?
Let's do this.
Enough of this chit chat. So before we do that, we do want to make sure everyone knows that truly, whoever's bringing the guest, in this case it's me, the other two bozos on the podcast don't know who the person is. Verify?
Correct.
Verify?
Correct.
So people have been asking them who's coming on. They don't know. It's going to be a surprise. Hopefully a surprise. So our first guest is hiding in the back. Not in the room. This person is a man.
Okay.
You know who it is?
Well, I know it's not me.
Surprise, it's you, Matt.
Yeah, all right.
This person is a recent graduate. Oh, there's Andrew Newby. Andrew, thank you.
Andrew, thank you. And Dustin. Yeah.
This person is a recent graduate of the University of Toledo.
Okay.
Just this weekend. This person is covered with tattoos except on his face, neck, hands, and feet.
Dad?
He's in the process.
He's not mic'd.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
This person, well, you'll find out in a minute, has unlimited access to pizza.
Huh.
Like,
Are these questions going to get
like
slower and slower?
No, they're going to get longer.
Okay.
This person is, what, do you know who it is?
Yeah, no. So I think I have an idea, but the clues are always interesting because it's like,
Thank
I think
you.
I have an idea of who it was,
They're not
and
always
then you
interesting.
said unlimited access to pizza. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I would, as I'm listing off
Yeah.
what I think you're going to say, that was not it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. That's shocking. This person is changing the face, direction, attitudes around, and services for addiction services
know
in
who
the
it
city of Toledo. It's Matthew Bell.
All right.
Hey, Matt.
Hi.
How are you?
Just sit down, Matt, for Christ's sake.
All right.
Any
Welcome.
tattoos of pizza?
Actually, yes, I do. I have it's right here.
Yeah.
on the
It's
back
the
of
funny
my-
thing is our arms are identical. It's like looking in a tinted mirror.
It is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see what you did there.
So, explain first. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And
Thank you for having
explain
me.
first, what is your unlimited access to pizza? Why do you have that? Assuming it's true. I could have.
It is.
Lawful.
I'm married to I guess the pizza goddess is what she likes to call herself, of Toledo. So my wife's father founded Marco's Pizza. So
And
clap for
we
that.
just called her, and they're bringing pizzas at any
on.
moment. So
it's on the way.
So we have 10 or 12 pizzas that you can all enjoy here in a few minutes. But Matt, thank you for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
How did you get to a position where you decided to found a addiction services company?
So I'm in recovery myself. I've been sober for almost 9 years, and I went to. Thank you.
I'm still clapping for the pizza. Yeah.
Nothing
the other
to
thing's
do with
okay.
the sobriety.
Yeah.
Sobriety's
Yeah,
all right, but
that's all right.
pizza's really cool.
Yeah.
Have a funny story about this building as well from my active addiction. But I went to 28 rehabs. I was homeless for 2 years. I overdosed 3 times. I was arrested 13 times. Convicted felon in 3 states. I was arrested all over the country, and I certainly was not raised that way. I never thought that those things would happen, but in going through a lot of treatment centers, I saw good and I saw bad. And I studied business in college prior to becoming addicted. And, I'm this person with 7 days clean in a rehab thinking about how they should be doing things different, like you guys aren't doing this right. I got 7 days clean,
I'm
but
sure
you
they
could do
love to
this
hear
better.
that also.
Sure.
And, but no, just really took my biggest liabilities in life and really turned it into an asset. My experience was something that turned out to be something that was just really good for me and my family, and helping people is a phenomenal thing. It's something that I really love to. It's a very rewarding thing. And when I got clean in 2015, I had a rap sheet this thick. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life other than start my own thing. I don't know how many people are really going to employ somebody like me. And so that was a decision that I made, and it started with really just giving back. Like free was my gateway to paid. I just served the community that I took from for a really long time, and it ended up turning into a lot of really good experience on more of not just the lived experience, but like getting a taste of treatment services, and just decided to make that leap. It was a scary thing, but it's worked out thus far.
Let's back up a little bit. So
Okay.
you had said you talked about you went to college before you were addicted.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back. Baby Matt Bell.
Okay.
Were you born and raised? What was childhood like?
Were you
Were
born
you
and
born-
raised?
I I was born and raised.
beat you to it.
I'm a real human being. But grew up here, Toledo, actually right across the river. Well, not right across the river, but in Oregon. And eventually moved to the east side. And then life was good. I went to private schools, got straight A's, went to church on Sundays, played 3 sports.
Brothers and sisters?
I have an older sister who, ironically, was the exact opposite of me. Like, my sister was like
She's charming, nice.
Come on, man.
Oh, I thought we were all going to do like a Mad Lib.
No, I was staying out of that one.
Yeah.
She was like the rebel child that
right.
didn't get good grades, and I was like the quote-unquote perfect kid in my parents' eyes that got straight A's. Dumped my first girlfriend in 7th grade for smoking a cigarette, and when I got to high school, everything changed.
Was
like
it your cigarette? Is
It
that
was
why?
not my cigarette.
Oh.
No, she didn't take one of my cigarettes without permission. No, it was, I heard, I actually didn't even ask her if it was true. I just heard that she smoked a cigarette, and I called her, and I was like, we're breaking up, you're disgusting, goodbye. Like, that's how I was raised. And so, like, no drugs or alcohol in the home, no, like, abuse or neglect or anything. Like, I had a quote-unquote perfect childhood. And then when I got to high school, went to St. Francis, and my freshman year was very chaotic. And like, looking back on it, I didn't realize it, but at that time I was scared, I was vulnerable, I was uncomfortable for the first time in my life, and my father passed away my freshman year as well. And so he was like my best friend. If I can be this much of a dad as what he was, I'll consider my entire life a success. And so losing him as a freshman while all those other things were happening was a super like volatile time, and it ironically led to me smoking a cigarette. That was the first like substance that I ingested, and it was, I always tell people my first addiction was your approval. I just wanted to feel better than what I was feeling. Yeah, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't have anybody there to like tell me it's okay to feel this way and here's proper ways to deal with it. And so I started just seeking approval because that made me feel good. All I had to do was inhale, and I hated it. It smelled. It didn't taste good. I knew it was wrong. It was illegal, but I got to be accepted, and so I was willing to sacrifice, and throw all these morals and values that I was raised on out the window. So that's kind of how it.
And then you were injured, right?
So I graduated with a 4.0 from St. Francis, got a full ride to the University of Toledo, full baseball scholarship, which was like my dream was to play Major League Baseball, and hurt my shoulder after Scout Day, which was like the best day. I was as a freshman, talking with the Baltimore Orioles, Toronto Blue Jays, and the Oakland Athletics, and I know I'm talking a lot. I like to talk.
No,
so
good.
like if at any
You
point
are the guest on the podcast.
If I'm talking too much, just be like, give me a wink or something like that, or rub my leg or something. I don't
You
know.
got it.
He's rubbing my leg already. I didn't even talk.
We need another signal. We need something different.
I just got completely distracted.
Not me.
Okay, so
Scout Day.
So, blue team versus yellow team. It's like you just scrimmage in front of all these major league scouts. And I was against like our ace pitcher. He's 6'7", lefty, throws 97 miles an hour, and he's the guy that you want on your team. Like, I did not want to face him against these major league scouts. I'm a freshman, and first pitch, fastball low and in, I hit a home run off of like our ace in front of these scouts. Then I go into the field and play defense. I turn a diving double play at second base, got to show him some defense. Next at bat in the 4th inning, the infield was playing back because they were anticipating like a power hitter type thing. So I got to show him a drag bunt and show off my speed and hand-eye coordination. Then I moved to center field, made a diving play out there. My last at bat, I hit a triple off the right center wall. Like, I just had the best day that you could possibly have.
Until today.
Until you rubbed my leg.
Yeah.
But it was like my dream. I was like, I'm actually going to go pro. These pro scouts are talking to me. It's not like, could I go pro? I'm a freshman and this is already happening. And 3 weeks later, I tore my rotator cuff, turned into a double play in practice, and I got minor outpatient surgery. And this was, obviously times have changed, but I was prescribed 90 Percocets and walked out of that surgery. I was like, when I started experimenting with drugs and alcohol in high school, I'm like really big on speaking with kids and how one thing leads to another. But the same thing that I did with like a beer in high school, 1 is good, 5 has to feel great. Like that was my mentality. And when I felt the effect of a pain pill hit me for the first time, I remember looking in the mirror and saying, I want to feel like this every day for the rest of my life. Like that, I fell in love with it, and I did the same thing. If 1 is good, then 5 has to be great. So I don't blame it on the doctors. I take full accountability. It was my fault. I abused them, but I was physically dependent on those substances, not addicted, because there's a huge difference, but like my body went through withdrawals after 7 days of taking them, and so it just accelerated from there, from Percocets to OxyContin, to then snorting OxyContin, to shooting OxyContin intravenously. We learned how to shoot up on YouTube, me and my friends. And then, then all the pill mills in Toledo got shut down. They all got raided. And that's when heroin really hit in 2007. It was black tar heroin at the time. It's not that anymore. But my drug dealer was like, I got something for you. Give you the first one for free, because I know you're going to like it.
They really say that?
How are you?
Oh, yeah. They hand out samples.
How are you managing your life to
addiction?
this point? I mean, you have a sister, you have a mom. What's the household like? You're still balancing. I mean, you're 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
What is your everyday like as you're balancing this deception and also trying to maintain a regular lifestyle?
So in high school, everything was really normal. I got in minor trouble. Like cops would come to parties, but they would always just let us go. I was the star athlete. There was never consequences for my choices. And I'm a firm believer that if there are no consequences for things in life, we'll never change. And so I actually got a DUI the very first day I got my driver's license.
The very day?
The very first day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in Rossford. The place where you do not want to get pulled over driving. Well, I don't know if there is a place where you want to get pulled over driving drunk, but it was just, I think my mom was in a tough place too, because she was trying to
Absolutely.
be friend with the loss of dad, and so not that she would let me do it, but she didn't want to be too harsh on me if I got caught smoking weed or something like that. So everything just kind of stayed I think what people would think of today as the typical social drug and alcohol use that kids do. And then once it got to college, obviously it changed. But I was living in my own apartment when I got addicted to the pain pills, so nobody was really there to see the change in the behavior. Except my teammates and my coaches, they all saw it. I was thinking that I was hiding it, but they could definitely see it. And so one minor thing that I left out is I inherited $180,000 from my dad when he passed away, and I got that at the worst time that you possibly could when when addiction starts. And so I blew that money in about 6 months on drugs. Yeah.
So moving forward, obviously we want to get to the success and how that started, but going from where we just left you, what is team recovery? What is the jump from that part of the story to who you are today in the brick and mortar that you have found a home and many others have?
So what is team recovery?
Yeah.
I mean, so we started
Answer the question, man. That's pretty clear. Jesus Christ. Let's get the second person out here.
Jeez.
Man alive.
Team recovery started, so I got clean on October 15th, 2015. Okay. Team recovery started on October 17th, 2015. So I was in detox. I was tired of going in and out. I had a really, really bad experience that led me up to go into detox on October 15th. And
truly a rock bottom experience.
The most rock bottom that somebody could possibly have. A very dark memory in my life. But I was in detox, and I was on my way out. I was actually walking to the nurse's station to leave against medical advice, which I had done over and over and over again. This was my 28th time in rehab. I was walking to the nurse's station, and I was walking by one of the other patient rooms. There was this guy, and I was on day 1. And there was this other guy that was on day 3, and he was doing push-ups in his room. And I couldn't even stand up. I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't eat. I'm throwing up. All this terrible stuff. Had no strength. And I saw this guy on day 3 doing push-ups, and I was like, man, maybe if I just stay for 1 or 2 more days, I'll be able to, because I saw that, and it was attractive. I wanted that. I wanted to be able to feel good and do physical activity again. And the program of recovery, it's always a common verbiage that they use is this is a program of attraction rather than promotion. And we have to model a certain behavior to show people that you can have a life worth living without drugs and alcohol. And I did not believe that. I was so far, the pendulum had swung all the way to the other side, where I truly believed that the only way to have fun and live a life that was worth of anything at all was to be completely wasted.
Sure.
And so I saw this guy doing push-ups, and I was like, I'm going to stay. And that's what it was. It was one guy showing me that, even he didn't have 20 years clean. He had 3 days. And so I decided to stay. Day 3, I'm doing push-ups. I did like 3 push-ups, and we decided to, we said, guys, we've all seen each other coming out of these detox. At the time, there was only 16 detox beds in Toledo. We know people are dying out there. The person that we were here last time with is no longer here. All these things, and we said, let's develop a group that holds each other accountable, that we're going to go to the next phase of treatment together. We're going to go speak at schools. We're going to, develop a hotline. We're going to get cheesy T-shirts and wristbands. We're going to do all these, we had a whole list, and I have that list framed in my office because every single thing on that list has been accomplished. But we would put our hands in a huddle like a sports team, because sports has always been near and dear to my heart. And we were like, what should we name it? We're like, well, we're kind of like a team, and we're in a recovery center, so let's call it Team Recovery.
Matt, how many people were on this original team?
10.
10 people.
10
okay.
people. And 8 of us are still sober today.
Yeah.
Which is 8 out of 10 when you talk about.
Shit. Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
One lost his life to addiction, and the other is still using. But 8 out of 10, the success rate of people staying sober long term is less than 10%.
Absolutely.
And so the fact that 80% of us are still sober, what we did in those critical initial phases of our recovery, of holding each other accountable, having fun, working a program of recovery, giving back, and staying in treatment, that was our formula. Mm-hmm. And so if that worked for us, 80% of us, how do we recreate that for the community? If we found something that works for us, how do we recreate that? And none of us had clinical or medical experience. We had a lived experience that, how do we work with other clinical and medical people and package this up and make it something different? And so today it's exactly that. It's a licensed treatment center. We have a CARF accreditation, which is the highest level of accreditation that you can have. It's an international accreditation. We're state licensed. We accept Medicaid. We're licensed with the state of Ohio and the Department of Medicaid and all 7 managed care plans, and have 95 employees today.
Wow.
And,
how about that?
146 sober living beds, 40,000 square feet of clinical space, and we're expanding. Probably hire another 75 people this year.
Matt, how do you? This is a daunting task from beginning and middle to end. I guess since you are on your own path, how do you keep your energy level up for this? Addiction is wrought with failure and deceit, right? I mean, that is the nature of somebody who is struggling with sobriety.
Yeah.
How does the team stay focused? How do you keep it up?
It's the little successes, truly, and it is. We see so much failure. I don't want to say failure, but
It's part of the process.
relapse. And it is. It's at the very beginning, I was like, man, did we do something wrong? Could we have done better? Did we fail this person? Is there something that we need to change? Are we just doing this all wrong? Are we good enough? And at the end of the day, it is. It's a personal choice. We can give somebody the tools, but it's up to them to use it. It's the little. I had a meeting with a lady that came through Team Recovery, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and she's a licensed realtor. She's got her kids back. Mm-hmm. She's starting her own nonprofit. I helped her do all that, the IRS application and all that sort of stuff. And so it's seeing things like that.
Sure.
It's not about saving the world. It's about seeing one person get their kids back,
Sure.
seeing one person not torment their mother like I did.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that you have to find out to hold on to and get okay with just knowing we're gonna lose some. It's part of the process, but it just takes one. Just one. It's all worth it if we can just change one life.
Are any of those 8 people working with you at Team Recovery?
Yeah, quite a few of them. I would say five. If I at the last time I checked, 5 of them. There's 2 of them that want to come work that don't know if they're the right fit, and then there's a couple other that are still working at other treatment centers as well. But and then some of them are just not doing treatment at all. They're just normal lives and living in the community and working a normal job.
You had said that you're planning on hiring 75 more people.
Yes.
Talk to me as a business owner and a someone who's got the lived experience of addiction. How do you wrestle with that? I love that I'm building a business that's hiring 75 more people, but damn it, I don't want to need to hire 75 more people, right?
Yeah.
Is that when your business grows,
that means it's bad out there. Yeah, I'm sorry I cut you off.
No,
that's-
thank you.
It's appreciated.
But you're right. It's like, it's a bittersweet thing. It's like we know we're doing well. We know we're doing good work. We know that we believe that we can fill that need, like not from a cocky place, but from a confident place. We believe that we can do it as good or better than anybody else. And we accept the challenge. Yeah. But it's also very sad that like Toledo and Ohio in general is still that bad. I mean, resources, Toledo is blessed to be forward thinking enough to like be okay with treatment, you know, because there's a lot of places that are like, we don't have that problem here and we don't want treatment centers. Yeah. Put them in jail, all this sort of stuff. And Toledo is very progressive and forward thinking in its resources. There's a lot of agencies out there. There's like 300 and something detox beds in Toledo. So the fact that there is still a need for more that's scary. The best day, I say this all the time, some people believe me, some people don't. The best day ever is the day that we could shut Team Recovery down. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If there was not a need for our services, I'd figure something else out to do. I will figure it out.
What would need to happen for that to be our reality?
The sad reality is it will never happen. And I truly believe that. I think that, especially in our world today, cell phones, the need for approval is higher and stronger than it has ever been. Drug dealers, whether that's pharmaceutical companies or the street dealer or people who are pushing out social media apps that are getting people strung out on those things. The need for approval and to be different than what you are in your natural state is greater than it has ever been. And I think that if all drugs went away today and alcohol, first of all, more things are becoming legal than they ever have been. That lets young people think that they're okay just because they're legal. And if all drugs and alcohol disappeared tomorrow, people would spin around and get dizzy just to catch a buzz. That's just the way that people are.
Or an escape.
Yeah, and so the question isn't why are people using drugs, it's why are people not okay with themselves the way that they are naturally, that they feel like they need to use drugs to be something or somebody different.
Matt, this is a question about addiction. Who keeps you in check, making sure that you're not putting Team Recovery or pushing the envelope for another 75 employees? Who helps you make sure that you're experiencing balance, right? Addiction usually transitions to something else, right? Mm-hmm. Weightlifting for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how do you know that you're not pushing your addiction into another space? Even Team Recovery itself could be unhealthy if you allowed it to be.
Yeah, anything.
What's the mechanism for that?
So I work a program of recovery. I still go to meetings. I met with my sponsor yesterday. I have a sponsor. I sponsor men. And so that would
Have you
be
had the same sponsor the entire time?
No. So my first sponsor actually passed away during COVID. And then I had to find a new sponsor. But that's my answer is how do I find balance and just maintain that? Because you're right. I have an addictive personality, and I will always be an addict for the rest of my life. I'll always be an addict, and I've accepted that, and I've fully conceded to my innermost self that is me. And so keeping that in check and realizing that there's no finish line to this. I'm never cured. If I pick this up tomorrow, I might be able to get away with it for a day or two, but it will always lead up to where it has always led me. And it's the only thing that I've failed at 100% of the time in my life is successfully using drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Like I've been really good at a lot of things in my life. The only thing that I've been terrible at is successfully using drugs and alcohol. So I don't need any more evidence. I have the proof that I need, and I've just accepted that, and I've actually gotten like really good with it. I have more fun sober than I've ever had under the influence, and it's just amazing that I used to think that truly wasn't possible. But a program of recovery is my answer. That was a long-winded answer to.
No,
and my wife keeps me in check too.
Sure.
And a little bit about Monica. I mean,
Feel free to not talk in the microphone at all.
Monica is your wife, and she was with you during that most of the period of time that you were using, right?
So Monica was with me for the last year before I got sober. So I met Monica after I got out of rehab. Or no, I got out of jail. And I had been in jail for like 9 months or something like that. And so when I got out, I got back on Facebook. And I had known Monica I went to St. Francis, she went to St. Ursula. Okay. And so I knew her from back in the day, but we hadn't talked for probably 10 years. I got on Facebook, and as soon as I opened up Facebook after getting out of jail, I saw this beautiful woman on some mountains or something in Italy. And I was like, all right, I'm sending her a DM. Sent her a message and asked her if she wanted to go on a date, and she said yes. And so met her at a bar. She had no clue that I shouldn't have been drinking. But, it started off with like a month of just drinking and hanging out, and everything was fine. But, we caught feelings for each other, and it was serious. And I would say 2 months into us dating, that drinking led to a relapse again. And it started with a pain pill, and then it led to heroin. And so on one of our dates, she found me overdosed. That was the worst overdose I ever had. She found me in my bathroom at my apartment. And she's never done drugs. I think she may have smoked a joint one time at a Dave Matthews concert, but other than that,
Obviously.
like she has no clue about drugs. She's completely clueless. She'll have 2 glasses of wine per year. Like she's never seen it. And so she found me overdosed, called 911, chest compressions. I mean, just talk about like truly traumatizing somebody, And the Italian really came out in her too, because she like hid my weapon and all this sort of stuff that I shouldn't have been carrying, and before the police got there. But like a true
Wait a minute.
That's not what I thought you meant when you
Allegedly.
said hid my weapon. I thought it was hid it from you.
Allegedly.
Not,
No,
yeah. Got it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Your attorney just stepped in there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, but no, she, and then it went from, okay, he overdosed. I'm going to stick with him. He just needs support. He'll never do it again. There's no way that anybody with half a brain would use again after experiencing almost a life-ending overdose. So she thinks I'm clean now for the next 3 months, and I'm still using the whole time and hiding it from her. She finds out again, and then she goes through the whole enabling journey of a loved one and what they go through. And, her and my mom started to team up and go to Al-Anon meetings and learn what to do. And at the end, it was like, we're not talking with you. We love you to death, but you're on your own. And if you want help, here's how you get a hold of us. But other than that, don't come to us for anything. And that was what pushed me to like the ultimate rock bottom, was being alone.
Is that ultimately the advice for anybody with a family member that is going through an addiction and can't seem to address it?
It's very tough because every situation is different. But I will say that if you're talking about an adult that is struggling with an addiction in your home specifically, like I said earlier, if there's no consequences, we're never going to change. If I have a place to call home, if I have a pillow to sleep on, if I have a place to shower, if I got food in the fridge, if I've got all these basic hierarchical needs that we need as human beings, why would I stop doing what I'm doing? Place to hide out from the cops, all these different things. And so the problem is family members feel like that's the wrong thing to do. Like, we want to nurture our kids, we want to nurture our loved ones, we want to take care of them, we want to feed them. How can we kick our kids out into the cold? And that's what my mom struggled with for 9 years. And when she finally got to the point where she was able to say, no, I'm not helping you with anything, because I'm a firm believer that if you're doing anything for them, I don't care what it is, if you're giving them food, because I hear a lot of people, don't give them money, just take them to the grocery store. Well, I will take those groceries and I'll sell them.
Right.
I will, if you buy me $50 worth of groceries, that's $50 that I have now saved that I can spend on drugs, and I don't have to spend on groceries. Whatever you say about, well, I have to do this for my loved one, I can turn it into helping you think that this is enabling. And sometimes they don't even realize that they're doing it. It's just natural stuff. So yes, the overall advice I would say is to stop doing all that sort of stuff, but there has to be a backup plan. You have to be, informed on resources that are there for when they do reach out, because hopefully they will. And there's a very short window of finding help for somebody, because they can change their mind when the drug dealer calls them back and offers them another free one. Knowing how to approach your loved one, and knowing what mindset they're in, and that's already like feeling backed into a corner and feeling guilt and all this sort of stuff. Knowing that you don't have to do it yourself. Like, there's interventionists out there that will do the hard work for you, because most people don't know how to approach someone who's struggling with addiction. Most people don't know how to do that, even if that is your kid or your husband or whatever it is. So there's a lot of, that's a very complex question, but in summary, yes, I do believe that we have to be stripped of everything. And I think that human connection is the thing that we value most, right? Because as in addiction, homelessness becomes normal. Getting incarcerated becomes normal. Being hungry becomes normal. Like, that stuff doesn't affect us. Those aren't consequences anymore. But when mom and girlfriend and these people say, you know what, you're not good for us anymore. Like, you're consuming our life. We're addicted to your addiction. We're codependent now. We're depressed. We can't sleep at night. When we know that we're affecting them so much that they want nothing to do with us, that is the stuff that, like, that hits harder than getting arrested tonight. That hits a lot harder.
So when you want some downtime with the family, what kinds of things do you guys do around Toledo? What are your hobbies?
So I haven't had a day off in 9 years, but what I do to have fun during the day, I love golf. I've picked up golf. I have an exotic short-haired Persian.
Me too. I knew it.
Do you really?
No.
Oh, no, I was like, that's really weird.
I just wanted to be relatable.
That is really, I was going to say, wow, that's really weird. And I've never loved cats. So here's the thing. I was homeless on the east side of Toledo. I was like, cats would like climb on me when I was sleeping in alleys and stuff. So I grew to hate cats.
Sure.
I
As
hated
well you
cats.
should.
And my stepdaughter is obsessed with cats. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Toledo has the largest cat show in the world. Did you guys know that?
That's our next guest. The person that throws on the cat show.
I can never tell if you're serious.
I can't either.
No.
Right?
Hey, I can help you with this, Matt.
Yeah.
He's not.
If you're wondering, is Matt serious?
No.
Never.
You don't have to
Okay,
talk, you don't have to talk
perfect.
to those
Yeah.
other people.
Perfect. So we went to this cat show, found this really cool cat, and I was like, we need that. That's cool, you know. And so we found a Persian.
What's the cat's name?
Oscar.
All right.
It's one of the grumpy cats. He looks really upset.
All right.
It's either upset or he like ran into a wall full speed and now his face is
Does he have an
just smushed.
Instagram page?
He doesn't have his own
Damn
Instagram.
it,
No.
Matt.
Maybe he should. I don't know.
I think so. I think you should.
Yeah, I like to work out. We like to travel. We like to travel a lot. But really, other than that, I just like to be with family. My life consists of my own recovery, team recovery, and my family.
And you have
I don't really do too much else.
A new little baby. Well,
Have
she's not.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
over a year now,
yeah,
right?
She's 13 months
13
old.
months.
So my wife, we got married 3 years ago, and then we just had our first child together 13 months ago.
Name?
Juliana.
All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't tell if that was serious or not.
It was.
I was actually surprised by that. All right, toughest question of the entire interview.
Okay.
Best pizza in Toledo.
Spit take.
Put that right up there.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying this. I really do believe it's Marco's. So I have access to a lot of inside information, and I've had like
Is this Italian information like you referred to before?
no, just like
How much inside information is there about?
like
The
ingredients
inside?
and where they come from and like all that sort of stuff. And I like Marco's is fresh, never frozen. Like the dough is made fresh daily. Like they get a certain tomato that's grown in a certain part of Italy. No other tomatoes. They have a 3-cheese blend that is proprietary. Nobody knows the
What cheeses are in it?
I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that.
How about you just give us 2 of the 3?
Yeah, that's right.
What
I'm
if
not
we
telling you
guess?
that. Here's the thing. I don't even know it. They won't tell me
Sure,
that.
Matt.
But just knowing that is a thing and it's like locked in his vault in his house, it's like that's just
Where in the house?
what's
Do
the
you
code?
guys? Do you have a pizza oven at home?
No, we don't have a pizza oven.
Okay.
But I do eat other pizza. There's a lot of other really good pizzas.
You don't have to
I don't know
say.
if I should
You don't have
say
to
that.
say.
I loved. I got to see.
He paused.
I don't know if you guys could see it from that far away, but I got to see the wheels spin there.
There's a
going,
lot of thoughts that just
Should I
process that.
say the
What are
other
the consequences
people I
of me
like? Yeah.
mentioning other pizza?
What does the couch feel like in your home? Do I want to sleep on that tonight?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I will say I love like a thin crust, like floppier pizza, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like the
New
really
York
soft.
style.
Yeah, like a New York style. I really love pizza like that. And so when we travel, we'll eat other pizzas like that. In Toledo, we don't. Sure. It's like we gotta put on a hat and put the hoodie up and pay with cash. Yeah.
See if you're followed.
Yeah.
Buongiorno.
Yes.
Before coming here, I had to stop by the UPS store and ship a package, and I watched a FedEx person walk out of the UPS store. It was the
Traitor.
greatest thing ever. And I feel like that's watching
Yeah.
you and your wife
Yeah.
go to, Papa John's and pick up your pizza or
yeah.
something like
Well,
that.
I won't eat there.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I will say.
How come?
I honestly.
I thought they had better ingredients.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't think Papa John's is good. I'm sorry, but
They are a
Jets-
sponsor of this podcast.
are they really?
No, don't
Oh,
listen
God.
to them.
They're
Matt.
All he
great.
does is lie.
I'll say this: Jets has the best ranch. Jets has phenomenal ranch. I don't know if you guys know.
Hidden Valley?
Jets sells. No, they make it there and they sell it in like a squeeze bottle, like you would see ketchup and
Oh,
mustard in.
interesting.
They sell their ranch in bulk because
Can you get
it's
that
so good.
delivered?
It is
with
great to be an
markers?
American. It's much easier to just squeeze it right into your mouth.
Right?
Exactly.
I know. Right?
Love it.
You don't need to dip it. You need a whole thing.
So one of the reasons I wanted you to, we have to wind down here a little bit, but one of the things I wanted you to talk about is your plans for towards the end of this year and why, I don't think you mentioned this yet, Matt, but why you need to be hiring so many new people. And that's the very exciting new venture you have coming up a couple months away.
So plans for this year. I have a book coming out, my first book. That's really cool. Going back to school for my master's degree in a month, and opening the detox. And when we first started Team Recovery, we just did sober living and outpatient treatment services, and because that was the need at the time. And we're seeing that the amount of people that are calling us, and we don't even advertise for inpatient or detox services, but there's 10 or 15 people calling a day that want it. And so just seeing that and tracking those trends and what substances they're using and the payer source and all that sort of stuff, we decided that we should open our own detox. And so we're currently in a build-out process right now of a 75-bed inpatient hospitally zoned facility in Sylvania Township. So that'll be 20 detox beds and 55 inpatient residential beds. And again, like the experience of working in the industry and being in detox, and down to like the food that somebody wants in a detox setting, we've got that experience. And so that's why we need to hire 75 more people. And the thing is we're almost like fully staffed for it. You know,
Wow.
there's a lot of people that want to work at Team Recovery because we take a new approach, not just in how we offer treatment services, but how we take care of our people. And I think that is like of utmost culture within an organization, organizational clarity, taking care of your team. If you don't do that, you will not succeed. And that's just like very simple in my mind. I think that's you do that, and I don't have investors, I don't have partners, and so doing what's right for our people without having to worry about who do we have to pay back, what quarterly return do we have to, what margin are we at, all that stuff. Like, of course, we're thinking about business because it's a business, but it's not first. What's right for the clients and how do we take care of this organization long term is what's first. Making sure that in 30 years I pass this on to my kids if they want it is like my mentality with it. So thinking about what can we do to make this as best as possible, a lot of that is taking care of your employees. And when you do that, they take care of your clients. And so it's like that's as simple as it gets to me. That just seems so simple, but unfortunately that doesn't happen a lot. And you know, the addiction space or, you know, provider space in this area is relatively small. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows what's going on. They've got friends that work here and there, and everybody's hearing like Team Recovery is a great place to work, benefit-wise, pay-wise, culture, you know, freedom, all these types of things. And so we've got a stack of resumes this tall. People want to work at Team Recovery, so it's a really cool thing.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
kidding. Absolutely.
Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Of course, thank you guys.
You can take your water.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, thanks for coming to a bar for that one. That's great. Way to go, Gretchen. That was awesome.
Sorry about that. Great guy. Matt, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Our second guest. I will give some of my riveting clues for the next guest. Matt,
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
This person is a woman.
Okay.
I didn't mean to point to you when I said woman.
That's okay.
This person, this woman, is a member of an iconic Toledo family.
Okay.
You know who it is, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I think I do.
Okay.
Yep.
This person is my personal fashion icon. Shoes in particular. You two probably have never noticed. No offense.
I didn't realize you were wearing shoes today.
Yeah. I didn't know those were women's shoes.
This person is largely responsible for summertime fun
Okay.
in downtown Toledo over the past 5 years, at least. You guys know who it is?
I do now. Yes.
She is the newest leading chick in the Chicks for Charity organization. It's Mona
John
Shousher.
Ickes.
regret agreeing to do this yet?
I always, already.
You can't regret it already.
I do. I mean, I saw
man.
what you did to Matt.
I regret it already. All right, it's good stuff.
This will be great.
Matt.
Yeah.
Mona, thanks so much for being here and for
Thank you.
pretending to be not be a guest in the audience. The text message between her and Matt was like, "Okay, Mona, you sit in the audience and just pretend like you're here for the show,
Yes.
Why
and
were they
pretend
whispering?
you're entertained."
Yeah.
They were small letters.
Yeah.
Mona,
Thank you.
very exciting. Let's talk a little bit about Chicks for Charity first.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I'm excited. I'm honored, actually. After leaving ProMedica, I thought, gosh, what's next for me? What can I had no direction and no thought of where I wanted to go. And then I heard Chicks for Charity is coming back, and I thought, well, maybe they probably want someone younger. And I'm thinking, well, I'll give it a try. And so I met with them, and I just fell in love with it all over again. It was, it's been around was around for 10 years earlier, excuse me, but just, reconnecting with everyone and seeing the love and the passion and the excitement that was there way back then, and that's still here today, spoke volumes. So I thought, well, who knows? I'll give it a try and see what they think. And lo and behold, they called and offered me the position, and I'm just started crying and thought, wow. And I'm just so excited
I don't
and
know why you would
honored.
be surprised.
Oh,
by
no,
that
I
offer.
was.
When I heard that they had offered you the job, it was like,
Did you apply for it?
I did. I thought, I felt like this is a good place for me, Chicks for Charity.
Yeah.
No, it was just it made so much sense, but I think what I had said to Debbie Monaghan when she had said, we're hiring Mona, I was like, that's a home run.
Oh,
so-
thank you.
For everyone that might not know, what is
Yes.
Chicks for Charity?
So Chicks for Charity, well, I'm
No
going to go
livestock?
back a little bit. No livestock involved or harmed or anything.
Important clarification.
So in 2006, Martha Vetter worked with a local nonprofit that they were about to close their doors. So she owned RP Marketing at the time. So she went to her employees and said, how can we help? And, these people are going to close their doors. We really need them to stay open. What can we do? So all her employees just got together and brainstormed, and they kind of developed Chicks for Charity. And over the years, they raised, well over $1 million for 8 different nonprofits, local nonprofits, just by celebrating women and experiencing the joy of giving back and showing them and giving them the inspiration and the experience to find the joys in philanthropy. So they continued for 10 years. In 2016, they closed their doors. Martha had sold the business, and then the new owner just, with the new business and everything, too much to keep it going. So they kind of closed the doors for a while, and Martha retired, and she had always wanted to bring it back, and she's been working hard for the last 4 years to do that, and so here we are.
And the new beneficiary is Hope Toledo.
Yes.
We had
Yes.
John Jones
Great.
on, or we just recorded an
No,
episode.
no one knows that yet.
Oh, we just recorded an episode with John Jones.
Not the John Jones you know. He's from Philadelphia.
Different
No,
one.
this is John A.
Different John
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's right.
From
Gotcha.
Hope Toledo.
Yeah.
His pants are around his waist.
So in the introduction, Gretchen had said that you are one of the people responsible for Summertime Fun.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about what that actually means and that pride and joy of you did a lot of work to bring a lot of excitement to Toledo, but
Well,
but
I
share
had a
that with people
ball.
what's-
I was
His
so
first fight club, you started it.
just about. We
Depending
started
on the
up-
weekend.
We had a lot of firsts. But no, I worked for ProMedica and had the honor to work on community events and just dream. Randy Ostra was a great visionary, and man, he was incredible, and he just, here you go, make it happen. And we made it happen. And Meg and, you know, the whole team, it's not one person. It really takes a team, and we got to do anything and everything. All we had to do was just dream a little bit. And so we started the concert series. We were 7 years.
Some pretty big guests,
No kidding.
right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. It
Except
was
for Common.
we still cannot get over that one.
You can't.
He just played here. It's
I
good.
know,
I
He made
know,
good.
but it hurts. It hurts so much. Still, it's like a bad marriage.
Let's talk more about bad marriages.
Aside from
I've had
Common,
that too.
Yeah, that's the.
Apparently that's where we're going now. All right, Mona, here we go. Hang on, can we borrow that couch? All right, so you had all these artists come through.
Yes.
Of all the artists who came through, who was the easiest to work with, and who was the absolute worst?
So I will say well, besides Common, everybody knows that. But so I say the country artists were really the easiest for the most part.
Because they're so dumb.
They were. What was that?
Oh, I didn't.
That was out loud, Matt.
Yeah. Oh,
Your mic is on.
yeah. Because
Oh
they're
my
so
God.
fun.
Yes, because they are. No, they were just they loved Toledo. I was just surprised at, I would say almost all of the bands and the artists that came through were just so impressed with Toledo. And it just made us feel so great, and they wanted to come back, and it was just fun to see it grow and evolved, and people recognizing Toledo and the community and really appreciating all that we do.
Who was responsible for giving that fish sandwich to
Patty LaBelle.
LaBelle? Because John and I are traumatized from that concert.
Oh my God, it was it was
For those of you
so
that don't know,
sad.
Patty LaBelle was here, and in the middle of her
Oh my
concert, projectile vomited over
Yes.
the entire stage and
in
band.
front of everyone.
And then it came out. I think the Blade had a breaking news headline that it was a fish sandwich.
Yeah, thank God.
Okay, I know the
And
true
Thank God
story.
for
Tell us
journalism.
the true story.
But
Tell us-
I can't say.
Okay.
Yes,
But
you can.
It was
You
not.
just don't want
it
to.
was
No-
not a
no
fish
one-
sandwich.
No one listens to this podcast.
I know they
You
don't. That's why I agreed to do this.
All right, Mona.
Don't tell Witro Wealth
Serve
Management.
and, serve and volley. Can't wait to run Chicks for Charity into the ground.
She was just very gracious, and she got up and she came
back out,
back
to her credit.
and she finished her complete set list.
Oh.
We couldn't believe it.
No,
I
that
mean,
was
she
shocking.
didn't leave out anything. And
Well, one thing.
well, she did. Okay, yes, she
sandwich.
did.
Lunch.
But yeah, I don't know how she did it.
Yeah.
I just am amazed by it.
All right, I don't want to let you get away from the second half of
Me
the
too.
question.
Yeah, let's hear the
Worst.
dirt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Cough it up,
Worst.
Shousher.
Oh God, the worst. What was his name?
Matt Killam.
No.
DJ Khaled.
Meg, help me here. Thank you.
What?
Vanilla Ice.
That's cold.
Oh my God. So
That
this
gets a
is-
laugh? Jesus
This is
Christ.
COVID still. We have all these guidelines. The management team came in and said, you need this, this, and this. You have to distance everyone on stage. We had to have extra restrooms, hand wash station. I mean, we had to have everything, mask and the whole works. And he agrees to this, right? And we have to agree to it. So we sign the agreement and everything. We get everything in place, and we spend all this extra money doing this. And then he says, screw you, let's do this anyway. He pulled all these people on stage. They're on top of each other. It's like there's no 6 feet in between, and it's
I don't see
big
where a
mess.
messaging problem for a hospital system having a super spreader
Right?
event is a problem.
Yeah.
It's not an issue.
Not at all.
No. Wow, that's interesting.
He just did not care. He was going to do what he wanted to do, and he did.
When at the very beginning, these are giant things that you're executing. What did you play with when you were a little kid? What brought you from early childhood? Did you throw a giant lemonade stand in the front yard? How did?
It's my parents.
Yeah. Okay.
So my dad was very good at telling my mom, oh, by the way, we have 50 people coming for dinner in 3 days, and here you go. And back then, I mean, she cooked everything from scratch. And no one, my dad, would never allow anyone to come into the house and bringing any food. So my mom cooked it all, baked it all.
And Shousher's
cleaned
Polish,
the
right? You're
house.
Polish?
We are Polish, yes. And so, all that good food.
Well, tell everyone who your dad is, just so we know.
My dad is Shousher, John Shousher, and he loved our community. Mm-hmm. And it was everything to him. And he started so many different projects. He started the Interfaith Coalition. It was so important to him. There were a couple rabbis, priests, and the imam and my father got together and they developed this, and he just ran with it, and he never missed a beat. My mom would be waiting dinner, it's 9:30 at night, and my dad is still not home. He's still off to another meeting, doing this and doing that, and he never let it, nothing stopped him.
Yeah, he was definitely plugged in. And the John Shousher Way is now a street over on the east
we
side,
have
right?
a street name. Yeah, it was
That's
beautiful.
exciting.
Yeah.
So before you worked at ProMedica, I know that you have an entrepreneurial spirit about you and background, but you had other businesses before you started working for ProMedica, right?
Spill it.
Spill it.
Yeah. Like a certain
Molly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was married. And
Is this the bad one that you said
Well,
you referenced earlier?
I had two, and they were both bad.
Oh.
But this is the first bad one.
Okay.
Oh, right.
So I was married. This is my first husband, and he passed away. And when he passed away, he had a bar. And I was not supposed to have anything to do with it. Long story. It was, I think they called it a go-go bar at the time. I don't know what they would call it now, but it was
Strip club?
yeah, but they didn't, I mean, it wasn't topless or anything.
Adult entertainment
Thank you.
establishment.
Thank you. That's perfect. And
It's called Chicks for Charity.
actually, that would be a good name.
That's a good fundraiser.
Is that the same?
Yeah.
It's the same. No, not the same.
Oh my God.
It's not the same.
It's not the
Yeah,
same.
sorry. Yeah.
It teaches the value of money.
Yeah.
I don't even know. There's no one to save. Please, God, keep talking.
Oh my God.
Back on the rails.
So he.
Just
So
focus.
I know I can't focus now after that.
There's no
Because you know what's a good idea. That's why.
Because my head just went, So his family was supposed to take over the bar and sell it. And then 2 days after he passed, I was handed the key and said, it's all yours. I'm like, what the heck do I do with this? So
you learned to dance?
I never learned to dance. I am really bad.
That looks like this.
I would lose so much money that I did not dance. There was no, and no
Honey,
one.
you don't have to pay
no,
them.
yeah,
Once you
no,
did.
no. That
They
was
pay you.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
So they pay me not to dance. So I went in. I mean, somebody had to manage it and run it, and oh my God, before that, I never opened a beer in my life. Like, I knew nothing about a bar, and it was an eye-opener, to say the least.
How long did you have it? How long did you
That
own
was
it?
talk to us about the hours, the name of the place, and this
So,
is
10 years.
good.
What?
Man.
Yeah.
You got the
So
hang of it.
I
guess.
wasn't planning on keeping it, but I got sued for child support because my husband had a friend who they had a baby with, and after my husband died, I ended up having to pay for child support. So I had to keep the bar.
sounds great.
He was great. He was actually he was.
Sounds very loving.
He was very loving. There were many good in his
Sure.
defense. There were many good qualities. That was not one. But
Did you
I did
grow to
love
like?
him.
Did you love the bar? Did you kind of did it? Did you
No,
love
never loved it.
Never loved it. 10 years and it was
No.
sledding the whole time.
It was what I had to do.
Yeah.
I had 2 girls. I had to pay this person off and do. I mean,
It's
I had
an
to do it. So
overwhelming
you
amount
just
of work
do
and
it.
hours.
Oh, it's horrible. I
And
don't know
how
how.
old were you at this time when you had this?
I was 35.
Okay.
Okay.
So I did it. I kept the bar as a, what did you call it? Adult entertainment? Adult entertainment establishment. Yes. So kept that for, I think, 2.5 years and then changed it into a blues club. And that actually was fun. The music was great. Just like the open mic nights were incredible because you never knew who was going to walk in the door, and you could never recreate that music
Sure.
again. It was just, I loved it. That part was amazing. But
When did it transition into the Blues Club? And the name of the establishment was?
so it was originally Duville's Cafe, and actually it's right on the corner down here, Summit and Locust, where they have that gorgeous new building right now. And then 3 years after, it was he died in 93. So in 93, I took over. And then about 3 years later, I changed it into a blues club. And then I had it for 10 years and sold it and never looked back.
Sure.
And I can't believe I
never
ended
knew
up
any
doing
of this information. This is
concerts.
shocking information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson you learned from 10 years of running a bar that you hated?
Man, there's a lot.
Did you meet your new
Trust
husband at
your
this bar? Because
gut.
that would have been something you didn't learn. You did, didn't you?
Hell yeah. I mean, you're there all the time.
This is so
I
good.
work 12 hours
Yes.
a day for
You don't owe her an
hours
apology.
a
Tell her to
day.
shut up. Yeah. Bear's got to eat.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we all make stupid mistakes in life.
I'm gonna make one tonight.
Completely admit it. I miss
goodness.
being married.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was 10 years, and we had fun, and I thought, why not? And after a year, I'm like, oh no. And so, after, I think I stuck it out 7 years, and then said, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Sure.
It's not going to work.
So from bar, you sell the bar, and then what into what, Amelie? What?
So Rita Mansour had Loft and Home Essentials. I don't know if anybody remembers
I do.
the home store,
Yeah.
and oh my
That's a
God,
great store.
that was fun. I loved that. Got to do all the buying for it, and just really growing it and creating something fun for the community and a place to, it started out as candles and bath and body products, and we evolved it into a complete home store with, we offered draperies, we did custom draperies, window treatments, and a little bit of interior design, and we just had a lot of fun with it.
That's a cool place.
Yeah.
And how long was that? How long did
That was 7 years, 8 years. And then that's when I went to ProMedica. And I first worked at the foundation doing fundraising events. And I was there almost 7 years. And then I moved over to corporate and was there almost 7 years. Yeah. Doing community events.
How handsome was Vanilla Ice in person? He's kind of
Not.
handsome. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Didn't you
I don't
wear?
know. You may find him handsome.
And I do.
I did not.
yeah.
I did not.
You like window treatments. I like
Exactly.
Didn't he wear his hat backwards all the time?
Okay. Message received.
As Matt adjusts his hat very quickly.
So there's an exciting event coming up for Chicks for Charity.
Yes.
May 30th, I think, which is sort of the inaugural
Yes, the
event.
kickoff.
Yeah.
It's kickoff and awards. We are honoring several women, young chicks, and an honorary chick. Our honorary chicks are men and boys, so we have a special guest there. And it's at Imagination Station from 6 to 8 p.m.
Nice.
And you can go online and purchase tickets, chicksforcharity.com. Make sure you get your tickets. But it's going to be it's all about celebrating the joy of philanthropy and just showing how, every dollar counts and can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And anyone and everyone can really make a difference in our community.
I so badly wanted to make a clothing optional joke there about the event, but
Oh, go ahead.
He doesn't have
that was
one.
the best I had.
Yeah,
That was
he
it.
just
That,
went-
that actually was. Heard the joke. Yeah, that was the I'm sorry.
He said it out loud. Mona, go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah. So what is your dream for Chicks for Charity?
Oh gosh. I think just showing people how easy it is. I mean, it's really, Martha has created this great concept where it's all about keeping it simple and making it fun and not putting a lot of pressure on yourself and just doing whatever you can whenever. It can be as big or as small as you want. And so just getting people involved and thinking about how they can make a difference. And it doesn't take much to really positively impact our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Mona, thank you so much for
Yes.
being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you
Mona's
for
the
everybody
best.
being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we're almost out of time. Any final thoughts?
No final thoughts.
No, that was great. Are you going to let us bring a guest to one of the next live ones, or is it
I
always
think-
you?
No, I think you can do it. Next
Okay.
Is my face as red as your two faces?
Why?
No reason. No reason.
Thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you, Andrew
This-
Newby and the Toledo Spirits crew for being open on a Monday night, another Toledo gym. Thank all of you, all 20 of you, for coming out with relative please.
There's at
Clap
least 150
when appropriate.
people here.
That's right. Thousands of people here on the riverfront.
And help yourself to pizza.
That's right.
All
It's
right.
from Bambino's.
June.
Is that right? Am I saying that
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you to our guests, Matt Bell and Mona Shousher. And thanks to everybody that's here. And thanks to everyone listening at home. This is the 419.
Matt,
It's
you
419. So good.
Thanks for listening, and thank you to our sponsors, Wetro Wealth Management. Wetro Wealth Management is an independent certified financial advisor. What does that mean? It means that the focus is solely on you, the client, and building a relationship with you. Tim and the team are able to customize your portfolio in a way that reflects your wants and desires for the future. In short, your needs are their priority. We appreciate them making the 419 a priority for how they support the community. So reach out and see if they can help you reach your financial goals. Their website, wetroadvisors.com. That's WHETRO advisors.com. Or you can email them, contact us at wetroadvisors.com. See if they can help, or just reach out and say thank you for supporting the 419. Affiliated with Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC, 100 East 6 Forks Road, Suite 200, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27609. 919-831-2370.